When I was 15 I pushed my father down the stairs while in a fight, so my room didn't have a door because it was broken and my room was next to the bathroom. My sister was in there for a very long time and he wanted her to get out because it was around 10 PM but she didn't. So he looked into my room from where he was standing for a while, and while I was playing a game he pulled the wire from my mouse in a very hostile way. We then said some things to each other, and I pushed him out of my room, and then he tripped and fell down the stairs. Instead of helping him, I felt so good and powerful. It was a scary feeling thinking back about it. That night he slept on the couch, and I didn't say a word to him. The next day he went to the doctor, and it turned out that he had a shifted vertebra. I used to be an extreme internet troll when I was younger. This was a long time ago, 7 years back. Had way too much free time on my hands, spent most of it on the internet, and I was becoming pretty outspoken online. Decided I wanted internet attention and thought negative attention would be the most thrilling. It started out fairly tame. I'd just act like a shithead online. I'd act extremely opinionated over stupid stuff, say really unconventional things to offend people, argue and throw insults. This satisfied me for a bit as I got some mad reactions from people, but I decided I wanted more intense reactions. As time went on, my trolling game started becoming worse and worse as I needed more extreme reactions. On a daily basis I'd find targets to harass constantly online. I'd start saying really nasty things about sensitive topics, suicide, dead kids, anything that would upset people. This would actually work. People would be outraged and disgusted. I'd get entire inboxes full of hostile messages, and it would give me a thrill. It's like I got a high out of trolling, like an addiction or something. It was almost like an ego trip getting people mad at me. Very powerful feeling. But chasing that feeling made me lose any form of morals as I was now extremely nasty. It kept escalating. My online accounts would get banned constantly for cyberbullying and hate speech, but literally I had plenty more accounts. I started meeting other trolls online and we started making packs where we'd find people to harass and target on the internet. This went on for a good year or so before I got bored and faded away from being a troll. I know my behavior was really bad, but I enjoyed the reactions from it, and it kept demanding me to get better reactions by being more nasty. But since then I've found better ways to deal with that outlet, even though a few times over the years I've briefly trolled again. Truth is, I'm really a good person, but at that time in my life I decided to find some thrills on the internet. Told a girl whose dad was dead at least I have a dad. When I was in the 4th grade I said something terrible to this girl, who I had always had a rocky friendship with. In the 3rd grade my grandpa died. I was extremely close to him, and so did her dad. Her dad's death was a big deal in our small town. Both deaths affected us very much at that young age. On to 4th grade. We were at recess. We and a few other kids in our class were hanging outside our classroom. Her and I started fighting, don't even remember why. In the midst of our arguing I heard her say at least I have a grandpa. I was so upset, because she knew how much I missed him, and how much it hurt when he died. I yelled well at least I have a dad. As soon as I said it, I immediately regretted it. I hated myself for saying that, and I still do. Even though her and I didn't get along often her family was always so nice to me. I apologized to her, and to her whole family. I didn't get in trouble at school, but I did at home, and that was the only time I didn't fight my punishment, because I knew that I deserved it. Still bothers me to this day that I sunk that low as a kid to say something so horrible like that. I consistently stole from Walmart and Target by switching tags and labels. When I was a freshman in college, I would go to Walmart and Target like once a week just to steal random small items. However, I didn't necessarily steal with a full 5-finger discount. I had a completely thought out tactic to do it. I would go into Target and look at the clothes and grab everything I wanted. Target's tank tops and crop tops were particularly cheap, ranging from about $3 to $5. So I'd take tank tops in various colors and sizes and match the number of clothing items I actually wanted. I would then go into the dressing room and try on everything to see what I actually wanted. I would carefully switch the tags by pinching and pulling the plastic so the tag could come off untorn and retag the item I wanted to buy. I would then take all of the clothes back out, leaving some behind, so it seemed as if I actually debated buying them. I'd do some laps around the racks some more, making it look like I was still debating what to buy, and then place the clothes I did not want back. I would then proceed to self-checkout and scan the clothes I wanted, and they would all scan for $3 each instead of like $30 or $40. I did the same thing at Walmart, except with hair products and random home decor. I would go into the kitchen section and the ice cream scoops and small knives that were left out had little barcode stickers priced at 88c. I would pick the stickers off with ease and just slap them onto whatever items I actually wanted. Then proceeded to self-checkout to finish my purchase. I haven't stolen in a long time, but as a broke college student I did what I had to do. TLDR, I used to steal in college and this is me listing all my tactics on how I did it. I don't steal anymore. I was just young, broke and depressed. A teacher told me and my friend we could have 1 glass of water. He had 2, so I strangled him. This happened in the UK. Back when I was in primary school, 6 or 7 years old, my best friend at the time and I were out at lunchtime playing in the scorching summer heat. In our school, we had to ask the teachers for permission to go inside at breaks, to use the toilet, get a drink, etc. My friend and I were feeling rather parched, so we asked if we were allowed to go inside and get a drink of water. The teacher responded okay, but just one, be quick. Break was about to end, so we rushed to our classroom that had a kitchen area in the back and filled up the largest cups we could find. After gulping them down as fast as a 7-year mouth could manage, my friend went to fill up another cup and drink it. I, being the holy Karen of all 7-year-olds, scolded him for doing so. When he replied that he was really thirsty and went to drink it, I went behind him and strangled him. I strangled him for about 30 seconds before letting him go. He obviously went crying away to the teachers. I was very thirsty after that intense physical exercise, so I had another drink of water myself. When he come back with the teacher, she asks if I strangled him. I denied it. She then points on the marks around his neck. I couldn't think of anything better to say, so I claimed he did it to himself to get me in trouble, and I shit you not she believed it, and wrote a letter to his parents. Obviously I would never encourage something like this now, but at the time I felt untouchable. I still feel guilty about it to this day, but it does make for quite a funny story to tell. Anyone that has worked in the food service industry has seen some things. I sold a customer a sandwich that was on the floor. When I was 14, I worked in a rinky-dink deli near my house. The deli owners lost their passion for the place and it showed. We would charge high prices for low quality sandwiches and salads. I still took pride in my job and always made food I would want to eat myself. The kitchen was small and would get crowded when we got hit with breakfast and lunch rushes. During a breakfast rush one morning, we had a long line of breakfast sandwiches to make. I remember I bumped into someone and they dropped an almost finished order on the floor. I vivid remember it was a turkey, egg and cheese on toast. The sandwich fell turkey side down, with all the other components melted onto it. In similar situations, I would have thrown the whole thing in the trash and remade it. But on this day, one of the owners was working in the kitchen with me. She saw the sandwich fall, but when I went to throw it away, she instructed me to finish it and send it out. I was confused, as I was utterly disgusted with the thought of someone eating it. The floors were rarely washed. It was down there for more than 5 seconds. My boss came over, topped the sandwich, cut it in half, and wrapped it up. She said we had too many orders and no time to remake it. The sandwich left the kitchen and went into someone's stomach. To the customer who ended up with it, I hope you didn't get food poisoning. My friends and I bullied a girl in 8th grade. Here's the story, here it goes. In 8th grade our whole class went to a school trip and there was this girl who didn't have any friends. My best friend and I started dancing in our room and she asked if she could join in. We said yes and her dancing, well, it was unique. We started laughing and she got so happy thinking she was cool. We asked if we could invite the other girls to watch her dance because she looked so cool. She was so happy thinking she could get more friends and agreed. Everyone stood in a circle around her clapping and laughing while she danced. No one ever told her what really happened. I'm not one for bullying, and that really got to me afterwards. I made it my life's mission to protect those who were bullied in class afterwards. And now 11 years later I got really wonderful friends because of it. I never talked to that girl again. I still remember her name and what she looked like. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.